Hey, young scientists, are you ready for another lesson? Well, I'm going to do it just a little bit differently than I've done it before. I'm going to give you the answers to the previous one at the end, okay? So, the question is, what is the oldest living thing on the planet Earth? What? David? No! MsJ is not the oldest person on the planet. What? Addie? What? No, Jeffrey's not the oldest either. He's he's going to be 18 years old this December. Yeah, he's going to be an adult. I got a question for you. How much older is Jeffrey than all of you? Ha, 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 you thought. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, scientists have found that there are a variety of different lifespans, which means how long animals live, living things live. And some ants only live for just like ants or bugs, insects only live for a few days, while there are other animals like a tortoise, that giant tortoise that can live for about 100 years. There's also a clam that scientists have found can live for 400 years. But that's not the oldest living thing on the planet Earth. Got an idea about what it is? The oldest living thing actually are trees. Yeah, I think some of you probably got that right, didn't you? Trees. And it's a specific kind of tree. It's called the Bristlecone Pine tree. Now, excuse me, I forgot to introduce. This is Jeffrey's friend, Bobby Bear, and he's going to help us out so we know where there is this really cool tree. Okay, there's this really cool tree, and it's called the Methuselah Tree. The Methuselah Tree is about 4,770 years old. This is actually the oldest living thing on the planet Earth. It looks kind of unusual, and if you look around in the surroundings, you'll see there's not a whole lot of other things that are growing around it. And that's what it likes. It likes to live in high, cold, dry places like the Inyo National Forest in Central California. And that's why we have Bobby Bear here, because right about here is where this oldest tree is. This is the state of California. Right about here, this is Nevada. If Nevada was here, it would be right here. It's right about there. That's where this tree is located in the state of California. And it's a really cool tree because it grows really slow. When it grows slowly, it saves energy, and I guess that's a good thing. Also, it grows dense. That means really thick, when it's growing slow. And so bugs can't get into it, and neither can other kind of bacteria can't get into it. And so another thing that I think you really should know is that there are some trees in your backyard, yeah, probably, or your front yard, in your neighborhood, that are very likely older than you, but not just older than you. They're older than your parents, and maybe even older than some of your grandparents too. Now, the needles on this fabulous bristlecone tree, the needles on this alone can last for like 20 years. Just the needles alone. When they grow slow, it's pretty cool, and that helps them save energy, and that helps them to live longer. The trees themselves, they only get to be about 30 feet tall. So they're not like really, really tall like the redwood trees in Northern California. They'd only get to be about 30 feet. What's also cool about the trees is they have things that are called rings. And each one of these rings on a tree, if you were to look at a part of the tree, each one of these rings are for 1 year. And what scientists can tell by looking at them is some of the rings are really thin, and The thin ones means that they probably went through a drought or it was very dry weather that year. But the thicker ones like this means that they had a lot of rain and a lot of sunshine and they were able to grow a lot that year. I'll show you another example of that. I have this slice of tree right here. And in the slice of tree, you can see that this tree slice has lots of rings. And if you were to count them, like this last one here, I don't know, they had a lot of growth for that one. This is a pretty cool piece of tree, isn't it? Yeah. But trees, they can tell how old a tree is. They can tell how much growth they had in 1 year. Are you ready for some questions? You have your notebooks all ready, numbered. Let me check, make sure what you need to number to today. Looks like only 4 today. 4. So number to 4. Remember to put our lesson number up there. Lesson number 12. Lesson number 12 and today's date. Okay? Get a drink and I'll ask you some questions. All right, everybody ready? Okay. What is the oldest living thing on the planet Earth? Is it A, a tortoise named Methuselah? B, a bristlecone pine tree? C, a 400-year-old clam? D, a coast redwood tree? Or E, MsJ? Okay, question number 2. How can scientists tell how old a tree is? A, likely they measure it. B, they use a special tool that tells its age. C, they count the rings in its trunk. Or D, they count all its branches. Okay. Number 3. Which of the following helps bristlecone pines survive? What helps them to live longer? A, they live on cold, dry mountainsides. B, they grow very slowly. C, they like drought. D, they have a lot of rings. Number 4. What can a tree's rings tell scientists? A, how old the tree is. B, when the tree was able to grow easily. C, that there may have been a drought one of the years. Or D, all of these above. All right, let's go to last week's questions, and that was about, do plants ever stop growing? Ever. Do they ever stop growing? Number 1 question for last week, you're probably looking at it right now. How fast do plants grow? And the answer was D, at different rates or speeds. Number 2, what is it called when plants make their food? Huge word. Remember that huge word? It was A, photosynthesis. Number 3, where does new plant growth usually occur? Letter B, at the tips. Number 4, in the story, the word rate means C, speed, how fast it grows. And last, number 5, when do plants stop growing? The answer is D. They never stop growing. They grow and grow and grow until they never stop. They don't stop. Like sometimes my talking never stops. But now I'm going to have it stop right now. And until we meet again, scientists, see ya.